The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Psychic Hour with Sandy Anastasi, and that's me. It's a pleasure, folks, to see you all back here again this February with me for another hour of lots of fun, psychic readings, getting lots of information about what's coming up this month and for the next maybe couple of months. I'm going to be calling on as many people as I can find time for this evening, and you are going to get to interact with me directly. You're going to be able to, Lisa will unmute, my assistant Lisa will unmute your microphone so that you can ask me a question. I will be answering that question using the astrology chart that you see on the screen, which is a horary chart cast for 9 p.m. on February 8th, 2015. That's tonight. And believe it or not, that chart will answer everybody's question that is on the call this evening. And I'm also going to be working with tarot cards. And sometimes I work with a little bit of numerology. And of course, those of you who know me know I always am in channel. My guides work with me to do the readings and speak with you. What I try to do as we do this hour is I try, and my guides try, to bring everything that comes up into something which is going to be of value for everyone on the call. So though everyone may not get a reading, everyone will get something very specific for themselves out of the session when I do this psychic hour. We meet monthly, and it is always free. Just make a note to yourselves, the next psychic hour, if you should decide that you like it enough to come back, and I hope you will, the next psychic hour is going to be Sunday night, March 1st. And so you really have to make a note of that because my calendar is going to come out the same day. And so you really need to be aware of it and get it on your calendar so you're here. I've got lots of stuff coming up. I want to just quickly go over that, and then we're going to jump into tonight's fun. First off, this coming Tuesday, if you folks are interested in astrology and learning astrology with me, I have my very famous class, Astrology for Yourself, that I'm going to be teaching for the first time online, and that's going to start this Tuesday. So if you want to learn astrology, or even if you have a background in astrology already, but want some real quick shortcuts that you can get deeply into the intimate aspects of a person's life just by looking at where their planets are from the book we call an ephemeris. Just that fast. It's really an amazing, quick, and insightful tool the way I'm going to be teaching it. So if you're interested in that, that starts this Tuesday, February 10th, so it's only a couple of days away. And I do still have a couple of openings in that class. It's a small class. Now, I also have just begun my Kabbalah Pathworking. That's going to be meeting every Wednesday. It started last Wednesday, but it's not too late to get on board. We're just at the beginning stages. And that class lasts about 6 months. It's a very in-depth, it's a counseling class. It's actually using the Kabbalah, which is a roadmap to enlightenment, as a pathway for my direct coaching with you. Again, it's a very small class. It's limited in scope. I have a couple of openings left. If that kind of in-depth work with me and using a roadmap to attain higher levels of consciousness and cope and deal with various issues of your life situation, if that appeals, make sure you register for that. I also have a webinar which is coming up, and you know those webinars are very inexpensive. It's Thursday, February 19th, and that webinar is called Soul Consciousness and Kundalini. This is a webinar, it's a topic that my students all over have been asking me to teach in depth for a long time. So I'm finally putting it out there, and I hope that everybody who's here is going to attend. It's going to be just groundbreaking, wonderful, wonderful material. I also want to announce something very special that my assistant Lisa is doing in Tampa on March 7th. That's a Saturday night. Lisa is going to be doing a messages session. And yes, Lisa's a phenomenal medium, and she's a channel as well, not just my assistant. And so she's going to be doing a very special in-person presentation in Tampa at the Sheraton Airport West Shore. And that same hotel that weekend, I'm doing my immersion levels 3 and 4 of my Anastasia system of psychic development. And level 3, I call Tools and Toys. We talk about things like seeing auras and working with a pendulum and seeing things in a crystal ball, automatic writing, psychometry, where you're feeling the vibrations on an object, astral traveling. If any of those things interest you, my level 3 class is the one to get involved with. And level 4 is an introduction to channeling and mediumship. And we're going to be doing that in a 4-day immersion class that goes from March 5th through March 8th. So I've got a tremendous amount of stuff coming up. I just wanted to share that with you as we get started. If you're interested in any of those things, go to my website and sign up now or as soon as this session this evening is done. Now, here are the rules for tonight's session for those of you who are new. We do have direct microphone to me ability. So if you have a question for me, I would like you to raise your hand, and you'll see there's a little hand there right next to your name. If you click in the box next to your name in the column under the hand, that will put your hand up. And then Lisa will know to call on you, okay? If you're shy and you don't want to put your hand up, you can also write your question into the chat box on the bottom, and Lisa will pick it up there, and she'll give me that question. So you have the ability to directly ask me questions. We're going to keep all the mics muted unless we see that hand raised. And right now, I see a few already put up, and here's how we're going to address it. The first thing I'd like you to do is to tell me what you're grateful for this evening. I'd really like to start each session out with that. The next thing, I would like to know your sun sign so that I can find you in my astrology chart right here. And then I would like you to ask me your question. Okay, so we'll do that. And Lisa, who have you got slotted for our first questioner this evening?
I had to find my own microphone. I'm actually going to start with a gentleman today, which I'm not sure that we've ever done. But I'm going to unmute. I'm going to unmute Peter. I hope. Peter, you are unmuted.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, Peter.
Hi, good evening. All the way from London, hello.
It's a pleasure to speak with you. Peter, what's the weather like in London this evening?
It's the middle of the night right now because it's 2 a.m. here. But it's quite good. It's been quite sunny today, and it was very nice to browse around some esoteric libraries in the center. So anyhow, nice to hear you, Sandy, for the first time. And just to answer the question as I should, is my sun sign is Libra, and I'm moon in Pisces. So, and obviously I'm grateful for just being here for the first time at the webinar and getting the opportunity to speak with you live.
I'm actually grateful also that you're calling all the way from England in the middle of the evening, and our first male caller to call and be the first one on. So we've got a lot of gratitude there.
That's good. Yeah, somebody has to start.
Just looking
okay, great.
Hold on, just looking at the Horary chart, and you understand this because you know a little astrology. The moon, of course, is in Libra tonight. And so since you are Libra, this is a very emotional evening for you. And in this Horary chart, which is cast for where I'm giving the readings, that's why it has a 27 Virgo rising, you're falling in, your sun sign is falling into the first house and a little bit of the second house. So this is a really good time for you to be talking about yourself and your direction, and probably a little bit about relationships, because that's going to be the focus with that combination of first house and Libra energy. Of course, you know, Libra is the sign of relationships. And so you may very well be looking at where do you fall in the grand scheme of the relationships in your life. And your Pisces moon is all the way over here in this 6th house, which is the house of work, work, and everyday life. Looking at all this stuff that's in this Pisces configuration here, where I've got my cursor going in the 6th house, Neptune, Venus, Chiron, Mars. Your life is a little bit crazy right now. So you may be having a little difficulty finding time for that relationship. So Peter, what is your question?
So my question is concerned with the psychic development studies. So I just started to read your books. So I'm at level 1 now, and since I'm focusing more and more on my energy and becoming more aware of the energy surrounding me as well, I started seeing shapes and lights of various shades and density while my eyes are open. So I wonder how to explain that and whether this is something you've heard of before. And also, second question is, I've also been wanting to get a reading on past lives with you, and I wonder whether this would be advisable or most beneficial now at this initial stage of my development. As sometimes I feel like there might be something stronger than me holding me back from developing further. Thank you.
We've actually got 3 questions there, so let me address the second question first. A lot of people aren't even aware I do this, Peter, but yes, I do past life regressions as readings that I can do over Skype or the telephone. Those readings take about an hour to do. They're very lengthy. I channel with my guides. I actually see things moving, and I don't look at just one lifetime. I look at an entire karmic pattern of lives. So I look back to where a pattern began, that's affecting you now, and I bring it all the way up to the current life. So we actually might look at 5 or 6 different lifetimes in a fair amount of depth during that time. Now, anybody could get that reading at any time, okay? And I feel that when people are called to get it, well, that's the time that they should get it. Will it have a bearing on your psychic development? Possibly, but it may not. It might be something totally different, which leads to the second part of that question. If you are feeling that your psychic development is not moving as quickly as you would like, or that you have blocks or resistances in certain areas, well, in that case, I would get an astrology chart reading, or a half-an-hour reading with me that uses astrology, and I would specifically look at the psychic things in your own particular chart and how you can get a better handle on them. It was last November that I actually ran a reading special on that, and I had a lot of people who called in about that. And although that special is not being available right now, I would still be able to do that as a regular reading, and I can do that in about a half an hour of your time. Okay, now, the first part of your question is, about your clairvoyance developing. Peter, everyone has the ability to develop their clairvoyance. Folks, clairvoyance is the ability essentially to see energy, to see things that other people cannot see. And I always say to people when they have things going on with their eyes, of course go to an eye doctor and have all the routine things checked out. You don't want to pass something off as a psychic thing when it really is a physical thing. So definitely get it checked by a doctor to make sure everything is fine. But it's very, very possible that because you've been working with opening your chakras and a lot of meditation and a lot of work with balancing the 2 hemispheres of your brain, you've been working with the psychic crown center mandala, which opens this 3rd eye and crown, and it's a real good possibility that you're beginning to have clairvoyance develop. It develops a little differently for everybody. Some people start to see little flashes of light, flickers of light. Some people see shadows off to the sides as their clairvoyance is developing. Some people just start to see richer colors and maybe see greater clarity, or their physical vision might start to improve, and that they might think their eyes are just getting better. So it's not the same for everyone, but what you're describing does sound like it could very well be the beginning of the developing clairvoyance. You see, your clairvoyance will be an overlay to the physical eyes, the physical vision that you have. So everything that's about your vision begins to get a greater strength. Okay? Now, I think that answers your questions. Yes?
It definitely does. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Excellent. Peter, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you. Thank you.
Thank you. And Lisa, who's next?
All right, I'm going to unmute Lori B, because we have two Loris. Lori B, you are unmuted.
Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
Lori.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Lori, where are you calling
Oh,
from?
my dogs are going to start barking.
They probably do. Lori.
Well, first of all, what I'm grateful for, so many things, this miraculous world, but I'm so immensely grateful for my dog that passed away a little over a year ago, that opened up this whole, this whole spiritual realm to me, and that she is my beacon, and I'm just immensely grateful for her presence in my life and continued presence. And I guess that's what my question revolves around her. And I guess I'm wondering, I wake up every day just to learn and absorb all I can about the new things I'm learning and the new things I've been experiencing. And I have so many questions, but I would like to know if you could validate, I guess, that she is still here with me, and if, she's a dog, not a human, but does she have any messages for me? Can you validate anything that she's maybe been doing to get my attention?
Well, first off, what is your sun sign?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I missed that. My sun sign is Sagittarius, just barely. I'm 2 minutes into Sagittarius.
Okay, so there you are in the astrological third house, which is where we find Saturn right now. And so right now you're finding, you're feeling a little bit of hardship in your life. You're feeling like things are a lot more difficult than you wish they would be. And of course, since your sun is so early in the sign, Saturn is, bam, right on top of your sun right now. So you're probably especially missing your little one because she gave you a lot of support. I can definitely validate. I'm going to show you the cards. The first card that I picked up when you were asking, can you validate that she's still with you? And I picked up a magician. And the magician this talks about tremendous energy and creativity and a real special power. Can I ask you, did you get another dog after she passed, a male?
I have not. I actually haven't gotten a dog, and I can't get a dog because I'm just still grieving and processing. But that said, I do have dogs with me. I'm fostering now, and I'm saving them, and they're saving me.
Okay, you're safe, right. Now, are you saving one who is a male?
Oh, no, they're both girls.
Okay, because she's coming back as a male.
Really?
And I know that's probably not going to be really exciting to you because you're used to having little girl dogs around, but this is it's either a male dog or it's a really powerful alpha female dog. But and she's not waiting a long time. Now, do you have two dogs with you right now that you're fostering?
I do, but they're older dogs. So if she comes back, she would be coming back as a puppy, right?
You would be coming back as the third. You would still keep those two. And she wants to come back now, but this is going to sound so odd, but you're not getting her the body, okay? My assistant Lisa could tell you so much more about this. She's got wonderful things on her webpage about this, and she can write her own webpage in the chat room in case you want to go and take a look. But she lost her dog, Big Laney, a couple of years ago to cancer. And immediately had a tremendous urge. I saw the dog, the new dog, and she had the urge to drive up to Gainesville and get this puppy. And the puppy walked into her new home and went and found all the bones that Big Laney hid. She knew where they were. And she knew where the water dish was. She knew the whole routine of going out. She was, basically she was Big Laney coming back as baby Laney. And so Lisa has gone through this whole exact scenario you've gone through, But the key is, what's interesting is that baby Lainey was actually born before Big Lainey passed. So you ask, well, she couldn't be a direct reincarnation. What is she? It's obviously the same dog. It even looks the same. But, you know, how could this be? And the thing is that animals have a different kind of reincarnation cycle than we do. They share. So, yes, you could have a dog that passes and then comes back again as a baby into a brand new body. Or you could have a dog that really doesn't have a strong character, that maybe is part of that doggy group soul that hasn't differentiated into an individuated personality yet. And that is a very malleable, moldable spirit. And that spirit will share with your baby who's coming back. So the answer is yes and yes. You may end up with your dog completely come back. This is your new puppy. Or it may be another dog that either leaves the body or moves over and shares with your dog. Did that just make sense to you?
Wow, sort of.
No, it's complex. It really is complex. But the short version of what I'm saying, so many people, because we humans grieve with such intensity, we say, oh, no, 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 it would be really disloyal to get another dog. It's too soon, it's too soon. And meanwhile, your dog on the other side is saying, no, I'm here right now. I can come right back if you get me another body quick. But if you wait too long, I can't do it. And that's exactly what's going on here. Your baby wants to come back. And she's afraid that you're not going to let her come back because you've already got two dogs.
I wouldn't know how to find her. How would I find her?
Well, bottom line is you'll have the intuition that says now's the time, and do it. And when you get that inner urge, don't question it. Just do it. Don't say, oh, is it right or is it not right or is it loyal? Just do it. Incidentally, there's the two dogs and here's the two dogs. And she isn't going to be happy about sharing. On the other hand, she'll take what she can get. So don't wait.
Oh, wow.
Okay? A male dog is going to become available, and you're going to say, but it's not a female. But it's going to have the feel of your dog. And if that happens, get it. Whether it's a male dog or a very powerful alpha female, because it's a dominant energy that I'm feeling here. Was your dog a very dominant one? No, she wasn't.
Well, yes and no, but she was a little dog, and but you know what? She peed like a boy.
Okay, maybe that's why, because I'm getting this kind of male-female energy, and it could just as easily be a male dog that comes in as a female dog. Matter of fact, more probably.
I guess I always thought if she wanted to come back, she would find me versus me going out and finding another dog.
You're going to have, well, if you know, I say this to people all the time. You know, a woman loses her husband or her boyfriend jilts her, and she says, when am I going to meet another boyfriend? And I say, well, are you going out to meet one? Well, no. And I'm like, well, are they going to turn up on your doorstep, knock on the door, and say, I'm him? Okay. Have I made my point? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, you and your baby will be brought together. The connection will be made, and you'll know it. But you've got to allow yourself to get out there and look, instead of saying, okay, well, I'm gonna hang on to a couple of rescue dogs that are getting ready to pass just because I really, really am grieving. Okay. Meanwhile, your baby has been presenting herself all over the place, and you've been saying, well, I don't want a puppy right now. I've got these two older dogs.
Right. Well, yeah, I've never had a puppy before. It's not like me to go and get a puppy. And it's like I figured but if she came to me in a dream, like I know John Edwards had a dream about his dog coming back to him, and I'm waiting for that.
You will know. And if you've been paying attention, there have already been several times. There have been 2 times that you had the opportunity to get her, and it would have been your baby, the connection, and you passed it up both times, okay? Opting for these dogs instead because you basically you weren't ready. You didn't have the understanding, okay? So I hope that helped, and don't wait. When you get that feeling that says this is the one, don't worry about it. Just get it. And don't worry about it being a puppy, because believe it or not, take it from somebody who's bred a lot of dogs, it is far easier to train your puppy when you've got those trained older dogs around to help you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Sandy.
You're welcome. You have a great rest of the evening. And Lisa, who is next?
Well, first, if you don't mind, I want to throw just a little thing in here for Lori. Lori, I have put my email address in the chat room. I would be more than happy to share the story of Big Laney and Baby Laney if you want to private email me. I think that will help tremendously.
I agree. Absolutely.
Okay, our next person that I'm going to unmute is Dewey. If I can unmute the phone. And I don't think I can unmute that icon. All right, moving on.
Well, isn't that, do we have their hand up? Well, let me see if I can do something about it.
The hand is up, the telephone is showing. Now the hand is down.
She must have it muted herself. Dewey, you're going to have to unmute on your end, because Lisa can't unmute you, and neither can I. Okay? Okay, let's move on then, and if Dewey figures it out, we'll come back.
Alrighty. I'm going to unmute Erica. Erica, you're unmuted.
Hi, I'm thankful for my freedom, and I'm a Virgo.
Hello, Erica. And
Hi.
And this is Sandy, obviously, and I'm
Yeah.
thankful for your freedom, too. I suspect that there is a tremendously large and amazing story behind that statement. So I give you a lot of credit, and I'm grateful for it, too. And
Thank you.
said you are a Virgo, and here you are, right up here, 12th house, first house. And so you've been doing a whole lot of soul searching. You've been doing a lot of looking inwards. I would suggest you pay strong attention to your dreams. You're getting enormous information in your dreams. And I also, because there's an opposition here to all these Piscean planets, I'm going to give you a little tiny bit of a warning here. There is a lot of male energy, some female energy around you too, but mostly male energy that's trying to pull you out of your current equilibrium. And you're gonna have to watch. You understand what I'm talking about. You're going to need to watch out for that, because you're in a good place. But if you allow yourself to be pulled out of that equilibrium, you will tend to lose your balance, and there will be some steps backwards. I think you're aware of that, but you're not quite sure what you want to do about it yet. So there's the warning from my guides that says, trust your instincts, that say, steer clear of all of those types of connections that are very gooey that are around you right now. Okay?
Okay.
Now, what is your question?
Last year I opened up my business and it's going good, but I feel like there's a nudge, like Spirit is nudging me to do something greater, something more.
Well,
And I don't know.
yeah, and can I ask you what your business is? Is it? Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
I was about to ask if it was in the psychic or New Age field.
Oh, I've been trying to study that. I've been studying, but I'm a massage therapist.
Okay. And can I ask, in your massage work, are you connecting with Spirit?
I feel like it at times,
Yeah.
but I'm not confident enough to know if I feel like I want to.
Yeah,
But
what my guides are telling me, this is the reason I'm going here, my guides are saying that one of the reasons you're being pulled into this next level of expansion is because you do have a gift as a psychic, clairvoyant, possible medium. And what's happening is, as you're putting your hands on and working with your clients, you're getting all kinds of information that that has nothing to do with the massage, you see?
Right.
And as soon as that happens, and that may actually be why you pulled in tonight without consciously recognizing it, as soon as that happens for somebody, you're crossing away from being a massage therapist and moving more into being a psychic, which is fine because you're opening up abilities that have been dormant that are being opened up through that physical connection. The problem is that when you're just doing a massage, you don't really need a whole lot of protection because you're not open to things beyond self, okay?
Okay.
When you start to make those psychic connections, and especially what's happening with you, is you're actually beginning to make connections to spirit in addition to the psychic work, so that it's almost like something is starting to come through you and say, put the energy here or put the energy there, where it's not you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you do that, you are potentially at risk because you're not protecting yourself from that outer thing that could be coming in, you see?
Mm.
So I have two suggestions for you. The first is, yes, I think that you are really being motivated to move in a new direction, which you are very talented and really enjoy, and that it would be a great benefit to both you and your clients. That's number one. Number two, if you do move in that new direction, do it with strong intelligence. Learn your protections. Do study the psychic side of things, not just the massage side. You can study that either with my classes or locally where you live. Look for something that you can study. But I definitely see, and I'm showing you this card, the Wheel of Fortune is coming up, and I always look at the books in the Rider-Waite version of this card that are in all four of the corners there. That's telling me that a cyclic change is coming your way, and that deep study is going to be important for you to get where you really want to go with that. Okay?
Excellent.
You already know that. You're already on target with that, and I think I'm really just giving you confirmation. Okay?
Yeah. It sounds great and exciting.
Yeah, I think it will be. And incidentally, one of the nice things is I don't think you have to really make any changes from where you are. I think you can study it and you can develop it and you can bring it in to what you're doing now, where you are, and it will be allowed to grow with you. So I don't
Exactly, yes. That's what my plan is.
Yeah, you're in just the right position for it. So this is all happening at the right time, the right place. It's all coming together for you. It's great.
Okay, so just remember the protection.
Yeah, study the
Okay.
protections. I've got a lot of protections on YouTube. You can go there and look at them. There's a wonderful book called The Art of Psychic Protection by Judy Hall. That's really my all-time favorite. Ted Andrews also has a book on psychic protection, which is excellent. So there's a whole lot of things out there that you can read. And also, as your abilities develop, you really do need to have somebody that you work with that you can use as a go-to. So either study my classes online or find someone locally that you have good feelings about, that you can trust and say, hey, this is happening, what's the next step? Or why is this happening? Or what do I do about this? Okay?
Okay. That sounds okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything. You're welcome.
And have a good
And Lisa, who's next?
I'm going to go down here and unmute Marge.
Yes. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Marge. It's a pleasure.
Yes. This is my first time, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm very grateful for my family and my husband and my life as it stands today. And I'm a Taurus.
Yay, let's hear it for Taurus. There's always at least one Taurus on the call. Thank you. Okay, and thanks for sharing all that good stuff with us. I appreciate it, and everybody else here does too. You're falling into the combination 8th house, 9th house. We have 25 degrees on this 9th house cusp, so most of your Taurian planets are going to be here, including your sun in the 8th house, which tells me that you're probably a little bit focused on finance and money. Things are good, but you want them to be better. You also are probably concerned, not with your first kid, but if you have a couple of kids with the second one, and there might be changes happening with that particular kid, and you know they will be good changes, they'll be positive. So regardless of how it looks right now, they're going to be positive. That little X in the circle there in that 8th house, that's called the part of fortune, and that's it. Good things are coming. Good things are coming financially, good things are coming for that second child, and also good things are coming for your husband relative to his psychic not psychic, to his abilities, his natural abilities, his job, his work. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have a specific question you'd like to ask?
Yes. My late husband passed in 2005 from Alzheimer's. And I just want to know if he was happy with the way I did his funeral, and if he's one of my guides now. I think about him all the time.
Well, the reason you're thinking about him all the time is because, well, first of all, there was a long, lengthy relationship there, and frankly, he would, this is his words, he would have gone into the Alzheimer's much, much sooner and deeper sooner if you hadn't been there to help to hold him where he was. And there's tremendous gratitude there, okay? So he is one of your guides, but it's not just because he loves you as a husband. It's because you were there to guide him. Now he's there to guide you. You see, it's a sharing across the veil. Now, when you asked, was he happy about the funeral? To be honest, he really could have cared less. Okay.
Okay.
I think it was really important to you, and from that point of view, that was great, you know, but I don't think it was really a big deal to him. By then, he was out of the body more than he was in the body, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so he was already, you know, it's like, so which happens with so many people with Alzheimer's, 1 foot here, 1 foot there. They're going back and forth constantly. But the part of him that was the thinking, loving husband was already on the other side. So, happy with the funeral? Yeah, well, big deal. Okay? I'm sorry. I hope I haven't burst your bubble there.
Well, thank you very much for that.
I think
I have another kind of a quick question.
what he was most grateful for was being out of the body, finally.
Yes.
Okay? Yes.
I can understand that.
Okay. I mean, that was the celebration. So, and what's your other question, hon?
I'm just wondering. I had to loan my one of my daughters quite a bit of money for her divorce, and she plans on paying it back. But you know, I just wonder about that. It's money that I really need for my future. You know, my living. And I'm just wondering if I'm ever going to get that back.
Okay, the way I'm going to ask this is very specific. Will you ever get that money that you loaned your daughter for her divorce back from your daughter? And I can't be sure. I'm going to show you the card I pulled. It's the Two of Pentacles. And what that's telling me is that, you know, right now, and you see this, your daughter is really, she's intending to pay you back, but she is doing quite a juggling act with finances herself to get back on her feet right now, isn't she? Okay?
Yeah.
And so if you're waiting for your daughter to pay you all that money back, it could be as long as like 2 years, okay? Will you ever get all back? I think that it might come in dribs and drabs, and I'm thinking that if you're looking to get it all back from her, you may get a lot of it back, but perhaps not all of it back, okay? Now, a different way of asking that question is, will you get that money back that you loaned your daughter for her divorce? And the interesting thing is, when I first asked that question, I got this, which is a Knight of Pentacles right side up, which said, in time, absolutely yes. And that's really kind of interesting. The reason I asked it both ways is because so often we are really focused about the universe delivering something to us in the specific way that we want it. And because we're so focused on that, we don't allow it to come to us through another fashion. You see? So if you're focusing on, I really need to have that money replaced because I need it to live on.
Yeah.
You're liable to win the lottery. You're liable to have somebody pass and leave you a bundle of money. You're liable to have your daughter remarry and the husband does all these wonderful things for you. The thing is that if you don't narrow your focus, that money will come back to you so much faster. If you want it back from her, you may actually prevent all those other options from coming to you.
Oh.
You see that?
That's interesting.
Because as much as she struggles, she herself is constantly juggling that hot potato, constantly. And
Yes.
yeah, and it's almost as much. It's almost like the more she tries to pay you back, the more struggle she has to get what she needs to support. You see?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you getting a feel to how the energy of this works? So quit worrying about her paying you back and direct your request to the universe. Okay? And it really does. What goes around comes around. One of the things, I follow Abraham Hicks a lot. I love the information that Esther Hicks channels. And one of the things that Abraham Hicks says is that when you give in order to get, you don't get back because you're giving for the wrong reason. But when you give with the feeling of, I have it, I'm giving it, the universe will automatically recycle and it comes back to you. And it really does work that way. But you've got to be open to it.
I know. I am a very giving person.
Yeah.
And I have been able to help her through this, and she's very, very grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very grateful that I have been able to help her. It's just in the long run, it took most of my money, you know. It's scary.
Yeah, but remember, there's going to be a way, and the way may not be through her. Okay? Look for other options to bring that nest egg back. Look for other options to make your cost of living less expensive. Okay? Don't just fixate on her. She will do what she can. She's not being greedy about it. She'll do what she can, when she can. But don't limit yourself to that. Otherwise, you're going to limit what the universe brings to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you so much, Sandy.
You're welcome. And I just want to leave you with this again. You're asking this question on the night, this is my Horary chart, where the part of fortune is in Taurus. Astrologically, that says that good fortune is coming your way. You have to be open to it, and you have to stop trying to control the way it's going to find you.
Oh.
Yeah, you got it?
Good fortune's going to come my way, but I can't control it.
You have to open your ears and your eyes and be aware of it. It's kind of like it's kind of like you could have somebody knocking at your door asking you if you want to go up to the casino to play, and you're going to be saying, no, I can't do that. And meanwhile, the universe is saying, you're going to hit that slot machine and bam, you're going to have some money.
That would be wonderful.
You understand what I'm saying? But if you're not open to it,
yes,
you're not allowing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and I'm not saying you should put your life savings into gambling either. What I'm saying is, a slot machine, a quarter slot machine. The thing is, you've got to be open to possibility. You can't be, if you're too narrow, you'll never allow that nest egg to be replaced.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay?
That makes sense. Yes. Thank you so much, Sandy.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Lisa, who is next?
I'm going to go down here to Pam. Pam, you are unmuted.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome. And Pam, what are you most grateful for this evening?
Well, I have to say, I just was telling my daughter this earlier that I'm so grateful to live in a time that we can talk about the subject of spirituality, and I opened up several years ago through an animal communications class, and I'm grateful to be living with this around me, and I'm a Libra.
Awesome. And I love it. You know, I'm sure you heard the quote earlier where the one gal was talking about her dog and spirit, and we talked about...
Yes, I had the dogs all around me when she was doing that, yes.
And I love it because the way the calls work is that one caller's information is another caller's life. One caller's answers belongs to another caller. It's amazing. We travel in soul groups, and we all appear here on these calls together at the right time. I just love it. And as a Libra, okay, as I said to Peter way back in the beginning, is also a Libra, you're at a very emotional time right now.
Yeah.
You don't have the astrological background that Peter had to see this chart, but I put a horary chart up here that shows not only the moon being in Libra tonight, only a few degrees away from the north node, so you're really thinking about your future and where you want that future to go. But it's also, that moon is also in an opposition with Uranus and the south node. And that talks about your life having been really a roller coaster over the last couple of years. And you're looking at that roller coaster and saying, you know, I can step back, but it's not secure. It's another roller coaster. Or I can step forward, but I don't know if that's secure either. That might be a roller coaster. And so there's all this opportunity around you, but there's also all of this insecurity, okay? And
Exactly.
tonight, you're especially emotional about all of this because of where that moon is falling, okay? So let's have your question.
Well, my question is, well, you just explained the last couple of years. So there's, I keep trying to do an online business of social media and stuff, and every time I try it, all this emotional, really big, heavy stuff in life keeps me from doing it. But what comes through all the time is the spiritual stuff. People call me all the time for readings or animal communication, and I don't even know where they come from because I don't advertise it. And so it just keeps coming up and coming up. And so I finally gave in to it. And I locally have had a lot of people ask me to teach some of the spirituality things that I've learned. And so I've been doing that, but I want a career of me and my husband have a successful carpet store, but I want a career of my own. And I just don't know, I think I'm being led spiritually. I don't know in what area I'm being led.
I think it's pretty obvious.
No, I know it's spiritual. I don't know what area of spirituality.
I think it's pretty obvious. What areas, what you just said, I'm going to repeat what you just said back to me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That for the last several years, you've been attempting to get a social marketing business off the ground, and that really has just not been able to take off because every time you try, you get roadblocked, okay?
Yeah.
But what has been working is people coming to you about your animal communication, and they've been asking you to teach classes, and they've been asking you all about how it works and what's happening with animals spiritually, and you don't even look for this, and they find you, and first thing you know, you've got a class.
Yeah, and it's about psychic, how my psychic development opened. Yeah, but I can't talk about it openly in my town, and so I don't. I guess that's why I'm confused. Is I started to at one point, and people started praying, you know, having meetings about me, and so it shut me down for a long time.
Well,
hang on. Go ahead.
I have a couple of suggestions here. The first thing is that you already answered your own question. You are being directed to move into your own business that you're going to be able to make a difference with. The thing is that that's not just with your quote-unquote psychic ability. That's with your work with animals. Okay? Now, that is the key, because in your community, you might be talked about as this weird person, but, oops, this is deciding to take me off the camera here. There we go. No? I'm just, you know, it's playing.
It's still up.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to touch it anymore. We're just going to leave it the way it is. Maybe it'll stay. If in your community, they're not going to be, and I'm talking about your specific community, they're not open to how you became a psychic. They're not going to be open to you doing psychic readings for them. But they're most certainly going to be open to how to psychically communicate with their dog, to how to get their dog to behave better using that psychic communication. Honest to God, you've hit the right key so that you can actually open people's minds to the psychic world through their connection to animals. Are you getting it?
I understand what you're saying.
Right there.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I have some in the past, yeah, and I got the same reaction.
Right.
A vet actually asked me to help him with something and then made me swear I would keep it quiet.
Right. Right. And what's wrong with that?
I just don't like the hiding of it. I feel like I'm fraud. And we have another business here, and so I don't want to, cause harm to come to our carpet business because people think all of a sudden now, I'm a weirdo. That
Well, honestly, if you put out the sign on the highway and you said that, this is Madam, card reader and all this other stuff that you're going to be doing, and also does animal spirit communication, yes, it would definitely be a reflection on your carpet business, and people would think you were weird. On the other hand, if you're working with a local vet and you're helping him with things and you're working with other people and you're very quietly doing what you're doing and you gradually develop your own little business because people know that you have this wonderful gift of communication with animals, that's not going to reflect on your carpet business at all.
Okay.
And it may open people's minds to the possibility of psychic expression relative to animals. You see what I'm saying? The problem isn't, what's interesting is that what you're actually telling me is that everything you want is already in motion. But I'm going to go back to our previous caller who wanted to control how the money was going to come to you, to her. Well, you want to control how the business is going to develop, which I guess makes sense because that's how we're taught to create a business. But your business is already developing. It's already happening. But it's just not happening the way you think it should be happening. I could give you other options. I could say that if you wanted to develop a completely, full-blown business, go onto the internet with your psychic animal reading business and do it as big as you want because people locally won't have to know about that, and see if that works well for you, and then just have your smaller, less well-known business. You can also call it, when you talk about animal communication, you can talk about, intuitive connections to animals, or animal reading, or. There are all kinds of things that you can be inventive about, calling it different things, which really are the same thing, which people are accepting of, see?
Yeah.
And you can also go into a neighboring town that's not too far away to do your classes. So there are options here. But I believe you did answer your own question because the business that you've been trying to get off the ground hasn't been working. It's been getting roadblocked. And the reason it's been getting roadblocked is because your higher self, the higher energy within you says, no, that's not supposed to be your direction. Your direction is this because this just flows for you and it's so easy and it's so natural. And when you think about it, that will eventually be the way that you can open the entire rest of your business. And it really will.
Okay.
Let me share something from my own past, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
I started out back in the 1970s as a safety engineer. And if you can only imagine, I was dealing with heads of corporations, safety directors. I'm talking about people who ran oil companies. I was one of the top people. I was the first female safety engineer that worked in Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, and I was dealing with the top echelon of people. Well, I can remember driving up the mountain in New York with the safety director of Menin Oil to go and inspect the oil tanks up there. And now this guy had worked with me for a while. He knew who I was. He knew I did a good job. We had a rapport as a safety engineer and a safety director connect. And on the way up, I put my hand over his hand on the stick shift, not touching. I hovered my hand above his hand. And I made him feel an aura. You know what the aura is, the energy field of our body.
Yeah, very aware. Yeah.
And the guy nearly jumped. And he said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm teaching you to feel an aura. He said, what's that? And on our way up to New York State to visit the oil tanks, we talked about auras and what they were. And this is back in the 70s. They didn't even know what auras were back then. And I taught the safety director how to feel an aura. Okay? So what I did is I worked things in. I couldn't tell people what I did because, I was a safety engineer. Does this sound familiar? But in ways, when I felt that someone was open to it, I opened the door. And before long, I had huge classes, 20 and 30 people, in my living room. Because when people found out what I could do and wanted to learn, they just showed up. It was pretty amazing.
That's what's happening. I guess because it still was hidden, that's what was was holding me back. Like I was thinking it wasn't, almost like I had to discount it then, like it didn't get to count because I'm not open about it. You know, like they're not even telling people that we're meeting.
Well, and I can assure you of this. If you are really, really, really good in your business as the rug company, the carpet company,
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
nobody is going to even bat an eye when they find out that you also feel auras and see auras. It's really interesting. You prove yourself in one area of life, and that automatically carries over to the next area. It's amazing how that works. So you already have something to build on. That doesn't mean you tell every client, wow, this is what I do, but the opportunity will come and you don't push it in their face. You don't say, wow, I have to show you this, or I'm going to take over and tell you how this works. You wait for the opportunity and you delicately open the door and they step through, okay? And it really is amazing that you can create that bridge into your own business without even trying. And I really think for you, the key is that it's animal-based. Isn't that beautiful? Because people,
and a lot of people, you know, have animals and think of them as their family. So,
well, not only will people connect, they'll accept the psychic connection to animals because they have it in their own life. They'll even accept reincarnation with animals where they might have difficulty accepting it with humans because they can see their animals coming back. It's pretty amazing. The universe is delivering up to you exactly what you need. That's your bridge.
yeah, it's funny because I'm also a medium, and that's what caused everybody to freak out. And because people started telling people, and then people found out. But it's funny that they want you to tell them all day long about their deceased animals, and if they have a message from them. But if you say there's a message from a person, they freak out.
Well, but you say
So
it's the animal, but there's a person there too. Sneaking it.
Well, you've been a big help. I appreciate you so much.
I likewise. I think you're on the right path. And Lisa,
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Lisa, I think we have time for one more person.
All right, I'm going to go back to Dewey because I think maybe we have the problem.
Yes, we do. It just
Dewey.
Hello, Dewey.
Oh. Hello, can you hear me okay?
I can, and pardon me for calling you a woman. Dewey is a guy.
I've been called worse. Nope. Anyway, it's great to talk to you. I'm thankful for having a spiritual awakening that I do at this time. I'm a Virgo, September 9th. And my story, really quick, is that my family told me I had psychic abilities at age 3, and I started having paranormal experiences at age 7 all through my life, which scared the heck out of me. And I kind of put everything on the back shelf. And just till about 4 or 5 months ago, it was just like a calling. I really wanted to just get back and just enhance those abilities again, just embrace the psychic abilities, develop them just to see if I wanted to help somebody. And I started meditating on my own, and I started seeing the points of light like the other gentleman said he did, and the shapes and everything. And I started seeing sets of numbers come up, which are like angel numbers. I don't know if you're familiar with them at all, but I've seen a lot of angel numbers come up in multiples and in sets of 4, and I followed that, and the angel numbers said to me that I was a light worker, and that I had some type of divine purpose, and I just wondered if you knew anything about that at all.
Okay, so what you're asking is that if my guys can give insight into that divine purpose.
Yeah. Basically, I just wanted to know if I'll be able to help somebody with my psychic abilities someday, if I ever get to that point. And I just wanted to know what my divine mission was and what kind of role I'll be playing, like healer, teacher, whatever.
Okay. Well, I can tell you a little bit of information on this. First off, your story is not uncommon, Dewey. Obviously, there was this powerful psychic gift when you were a child, that you shut down and did so that you could live and grow and be able to function on this physical plane that we're all on and learn the control of this life. And now that you are feeling comfortable and being able to open it and close it, you're ready to open it back up and work with it. Now, what's happening here is that your higher consciousness is actually saying it's time for the unification of lower and higher self. And I know you are feeling
Right.
And so you're needing to spend a lot of time in meditation. You're needing to spend a lot of time, and whether that's prayer or whether that's yogic style meditation or Tai Chi Chuan, whatever your type of meditation is, it's fine. But a lot of time in meditation to remain centered and balanced and to be able to connect with that inner voice within. Okay? And you,
Yes.
apparently in your environment right now, it's a little bit of a struggle to get to that point. So your first step is going to be to control your outer environment so that you can get in control of your inner environment. And that's extremely important. Your goal psychically is to achieve that union with higher self. That's the goal. You said, will you be a healer? The answer is yes. Will you be a teacher? The answer is not specifically, okay, but part of what you do, okay? So it's not a direct, well, I'm a teacher. It's a, I'm going to be working with healing and helping, and sometimes that involves teaching. Okay, helping people. You've already helped people. That's a crazy question. Okay,
Really?
You've already helped them. Okay, it's part of everyday life. The one thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's a mother figure around you. You've spent a lot of your energy and time in that person's head, literally helping her. You know, so yes,
Yeah.
you've already done that. You know you can do it. You're not so sure you want to do that because you don't want to lose yourself in that. And this is the reason why before you step out to that healing work that you're probably going to do, you need to really work in aligning yourself and staying, really getting in touch with that higher part of yourself on a daily basis. Okay?
Right.
Chakra exercise. I have a free audio one on my website. There's also one you can download that I did as a webinar. It's a video download. Or you can go on YouTube and do any number of them. But the chakra exercises are fabulous. There are also a lot of exercises that you can use to actually hum and sing the frequencies of the chakras. These are all things that are going to help you to make that connection between higher and lower self. That's your first step. And everything else is going to flow from there.
I actually do that about every other day during meditation.
Do it every day. Do it every day.
Yeah, do it every day. Okay.
Yeah, do it every day. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
And Dewey, thank you so much for sharing that, because I think that there are a lot of people on our call this evening who are really on the same path and have that same real urgent sense of, I want to take that step forward, I'm just not sure how to go about it. And the first place to start is meditation, and both sitting meditation and also the chakra meditation. Those are your two most important things. Okay?
Okay.
I also have a set of, HemiSync, like the Monroe Institute teaches, works very, very well. Centerpoint does HemiSync. There's also a app called Brainwaves, and there are many Brainwaves apps. This is the one that's called the Unexplainable Store, and that also has a lot of HemiSync apps on it. That will, the unification of the two sides of the brain will help to create a channel which allows the energy of higher and lower self to communicate. Okay?
Okay.
And that is your soul's journey. Your soul's journey isn't about other people. It is about you, and it's about the unification of higher and lower self. And along the way, you will help a lot of other people. That's part of the journey, but it's not your soul's journey itself. Okay?
Oh, okay. I just felt it was, I had to help. I thought that was the whole deal. Okay.
Yeah, well, helping is part of. But what's interesting is that if you get distracted into the helping, which you have done many times in your life,
yes,
you can get pulled down the road that other person is on, which has sometimes absolutely nothing at all to do with that unification of higher and lower self. That's right. And if you can help somebody along the way while you're on your journey, that's great. Don't get pulled off your journey. Okay?
Okay. All right, well, good. I will do that.
And good luck to you. I'm glad you got through this evening.
Oh, I am too. Oh my God, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And everyone, I want to thank you all for being here with me tonight. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Just a quick reminder to just 2 days from now, Astrology for Yourself. I'm beginning here online, and that's February 10th. And 3 days from now, Kabbalah Pathworking begins. It started last week with an introduction. The actual paths start next Wednesday. That's on February 11th. The next Psychic Hour, write this on your calendars, is March 1st at 9 o'clock. We'll go and do more questions just like we did this evening. March 5th through 8th, I will be in Tampa, Florida, teaching my Psychic Development Level 2, which is Tools and Toys, and 3 Tools and Toys, and 4, which is Channeling and Introduction to Spirit Communication. And on the 7th of March, March 7th, Lisa is going to be doing messages, Spirit Communication messages in Tampa. And I think, and please don't forget, sign up for my webinar on February 19th, Soul, Consciousness, and Kundalini. That's going to be very, very interesting. It's something that people have been asking me about and asking me about and asking me about forever. And, I'm finally going to go public with it. So you're all going to get a chance to hear what I have to say on that subject. My friends, it's been a delight as always. I'll see you next month, if not before. Good night, everyone.